A woman is dead after she was struck by a car while trying to cross a Brooklyn Park street Saturday evening. The incident happened shortly after 7:30 at the intersection of Brooklyn Boulevard and Hampshire Avenue. Investigators say a woman carrying groceries was trying to cross Brooklyn Boulevard when a teenage driver struck her. There was no crosswalk at that intersection. Police say they don't believe the driver is at fault, nor did the driver appear to be impaired by drugs or alcohol at the time of the incident. The woman was pronounced dead when emergency responders arrived on scene. A late-night grocery store trip turned into a terrifying ordeal for one customer. According to police, a woman was approached in the parking lot of the Cub Foods on West Broadway at about 10 Saturday night. Police say 3 males struck the woman in the face before stealing her cell phone. Police later learned the same assailants had tried a similar robbery in the same spot earlier that evening. Brooklyn Park Police continue to investigate both incidents. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Park Police are also investigating a shooting Sunday evening at an apartment complex. Officers responded shortly after 5:30 p.m. to the Autumn Ridge Apartments. Upon arrival, police say they found a person who had been shot in the parking lot. The victim's injuries are not considered life-threatening. Police continue to investigate. As of Monday afternoon, the shooter had not been arrested. It's been Minnesota's official state flag since the 1950s. It incorporates a seal which dates back to the time Minnesota became a state in 1858. But lawmakers say it's time for a reboot. DFL Representative Mike Freiberg of Golden Valley says the flag is outdated and offensive. Sioux leaders in Minnesota say the flag tells the story of European settlers forcing Native Americans from their homeland. After years of trying to get the flag changed, there now appears to be momentum. One proposed design looks like this, called the North Star flag. However, a proposed State Emblems Redesign Commission will be tasked with coming up with design ideas. A new flag recommendation is expected to happen by next year. A Maple Grove hardware store is celebrating a significant milestone this year, 100 years in business. Levon Brothers Plumbing and Hardware Hank is a 4th-generation company. Today in Business Matters, reporter Sonia Goins takes a look at its history.
Our niche is plumbing because we were a plumbing business to start with.
Levon Brothers Plumbing provided much of the plumbing work during the booming early days of Minneapolis' north side. Back then, they used horses and buggies to move merchandise.
It was my great-grandfather and his 2 brothers that started the business back in 1923.
The family business eventually relocated to Maple Grove and became known as Levon Brothers Plumbing and Hardware Hank.
And my father bought the hardware store out here in the mid-90s, and we moved everything out here.
Owner Andy Levon says the hardware and plumbing store has just about everything you need to complete a project, and there are experts on hand to help you.
I think we make it a goal to have people that work here that are knowledgeable, that know the product.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Some people say convenience and good customer service keeps them coming back.
I like that it's a small store and that there's always somebody to greet you and take you to the item that you are looking for, so you don't have to run around.
While most businesses struggled during the pandemic, the hardware store did pretty well.
The plumbing was about the same, but the hardware store, we were crazy because we stayed open when a lot of other businesses closed.
Levon says the business has continued to grow. Now the owner is celebrating the store's 100th anniversary with a prize drawing each month.
When customers make a purchase here at the hardware store of over $10, they're automatically eligible to enter the drawing.
He says it's a way to give back to customers who have supported them throughout the years.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
From robotics to research, a Maple Grove High School student is earning recognition. And today's Standout student, Jason Malillo, shows us how she's trying to help others recover from drug addiction.
Stavya Arora joined the robotics team in middle school.
That was my first exposure into seeing what technology can really do and how cool it can really be.
Now a senior at Maple Grove High School, Arora recognizes how robotics has helped to shape her education.
Not just programming, but also like mechanical, electrical, pneumatics, and learning how different systems and all that hands-on work comes together to build a really cool robot.
But for a young woman as driven as Stavya Arora,
She thinks big and dreams bigger and then jumps into making hard work happen.
robotics simply provided a jumping-off point.
It sparked the creativity that allowed me to, I guess, pursue and have the confidence to do this research project.
For the last 2 years, Arora immersed herself in a research project aiming to use the online forum Reddit to help people recovering from opioid addiction. She read through more than 16,000 posts.
I built different language matching systems that identify Reddit users within opioids recovery, and I figured out how to tell if those users are at risk for a relapse.
Recently, Aurora's commitment put her in a very exclusive group.
Immediately started crying just because it is a really big honor, and I put a lot of my heart and soul into this project for the past few years.
She was recognized by the Regeneron Science Talent Search, the oldest science and math competition for high school students in the U.S.
What a thrill. What an absolute thrill, and very well deserved. She talks about other people and the other outstanding work that they're doing. I hope that she knows that she's also one of them that is doing outstanding work and is going to change the world.
They pick the top 300 scholars from the nation who have demonstrated just great aptitude in their research, great understanding of the work they're doing, and that the work they're doing actually has real impacts.
Arora continues to monitor Reddit and build on her research. Opioid addiction can seem like an insurmountable problem, but Arora is confident her work in the virtual world will help people in the real world.
They're so honest and vulnerable on that social media platform that it kind of just it hit home for sure, and it made me realize that what I'm doing, it has so much potential to help all of these people. So that's also really kept me going, is the fact that if I do what I'm hoping to accomplish, that a lot of people can genuinely be helped.
Jason Malillo, CCX News.
After meeting in the Section 5AA final last season, the Maple Grove and Rogers boys hockey teams skated to a 3-3 tie in their first meeting of the season. The rematch was Friday at a neutral site. Maple Grove and Rogers skating at the Bloomington Ice Garden in the second of what could be 3 meetings this season. The Crimson's Finn Brink with a great rush up ice with the puck beats a defenseman and goalie with his shot from the slot. Maple Grove leads 1-0 just 91 seconds into the game. The Royals tie it later in the period. Carson Melquist with the shot that stopped, but Peyton Struck tucks the rebound in for a goal, and it's 1-1 after one. Early second period, Rogers gets another rebound goal. This time it's Mason Jensen netting the first of his 2. The Royals are up 2-1. Rogers on the power play here. Sam Ronaldo's pass is blocked by the defenseman's stick, but the puck comes right to Jason Smithneck, who scores. The Royals add another goal, and they make it 4-1. The Crimson get one back in the final minute of the period. Finn Brink to Blake Steenerson, who snaps a shot in for his 15th goal of the season. It's a 4-2 game after 2. But Maple Grove gets no closer. Carson Udy scores on a rebound in the third period for the Royals as Rogers beats Maple Grove 5-2. The Maranatha Christian Academy boys basketball team is ranked 3rd in Class 2A, while Skyline Conference rival New Life Academy is ranked 2nd in 1A. They met up in a high-scoring battle, and Jason Malillo has more.
A packed house at Maranatha Christian Academy to see the Class 2A 3rd-ranked Mustangs against New Life Academy, the top-ranked team in Class A. 6'8" Eric Reeder nails an early 3-pointer for the Eagles. Gresson Rennie answers with a baseline 3 for the Mustangs, and that fires up the home crowd. Then Bailey McDonald rips the ball away from Reeder and scores. The Maranatha senior nets 14 in the first half. Drew Ballantine creates space and fires a 3-pointer plus the foul for the Mustangs. They're up 45-33 at halftime. It's an all-out battle in the second half. McDonald flips the pass to Pierce Holmgren, and the smooth stroke is 3 points for MCA. Max Briggs' catch-and-shoot 3-pointer for the Eagles is good, tying the score at 75, and we go to overtime. A sweet drive and finish by Maranatha's Matthew Bluford ties the score at 81, and that would send the game to a second OT. McDonald is Mr. Clutch down the stretch, this 3-pointer giving Maranatha a 6-point lead. Then more tenacious defense by the Mustangs. Nick Anderson the steal, and Flush puts his team up by 10. It's a great game and ends with a 104-91 victory for Maranatha in 2 overtimes. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
We're heading into the last week of the regular season in prep wrestling. Armstrong and Totino-Grace met up as part of a tri-meet at Armstrong. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Totino-Grace visiting Armstrong in Northwest Suburban Wrestling. At 113 pounds, Totino-Grace's Davon Bridges shoots in for a double-leg takedown and gets near-fall points as well. He beats Ben Stark by technical fall, and it's 9-0 Eagles. At 126, Austin Herbst with a power half turns Bram Hattin onto his shoulders and eventually gets the pin. Grace dominates on the way to a 21-0 lead at this point. Armstrong gets a win at 138. Eli Hattin shoots low and is able to complete a single-leg takedown on the way to a 5-2 decision over Sean O'Brien, but it's tough sledding overall for the Falcons. At 145, Michael Varner with the throw for the Eagles. He's briefly in a precarious position, but is able to finish the move and pin Henry Cronin. Totino-Grace's lead grows to 32-3. Colby Harrer uses the half Nelson and turns Trevor Imbach to his back on the way to a pin for the Eagles as they roll past Armstrong for a 66-9 win. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.